Welcome back, everyone, to Nerds, Geeks, and Gamers. Today, with me, I have Raul.
Howdy, howdy.
And Carlos.
Hey, everyone.
Are you getting used to being introduced now, Carlos, or still not yet?
No, I love it, man. Let's not even bring attention to that anymore.
So, today we're talking about two movies again. Both of them are Venom movies. So we have Venom 1, which I believe came out in 2020 or 2019, was it?
I don't
I
know.
think 2018?
2018.
Yeah.
And then Venom 2 came out in 2021, which, I mean, I think this is a great movie for us to kind of start reviewing, mostly because Carlos has said I'm the Venom to Raul's Tom Hardy. So yeah, I guess we'll see how we can make that connection here, because I don't know how I'm the Venom. I don't rip anyone's head off. I don't eat brains.
Well, you know what I'm more interested to know is that I know you're gonna 100% crap on these movies, so I just cannot wait to hear your thoughts.
You think I will? You think so?
I 100% think that's what you're here for.
Well, before we get into the movies, let's talk about what we've kind of been watching. So, Carlos, what have you been enjoying this week?
So I was watching a show that I think it got announced last year, and people were not happy when the show was announced because, people for the past 30, 40 years, people really love Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball Super Dragon Ball Super ended a couple years ago, and that was great. And then they announced that they were going to do this continuation or this new Dragon Ball show, but it ended up being Dragon Ball Daima. And so if you don't know anything about it, Dragon Ball Daima, when it was announced, it was pretty much the characters as kids. So Goku, Vegeta, your main characters.
Mm-hmm.
All you knew about it was that they were going to be turned back into small children about the age of 8, 10. And that was going to be the show. And people were not happy because they're like, we don't want to see Goku, Vegeta as kids. We want a continuation of what we've been seeing for the past couple, Super. We want a continuation of Dragon Ball Super. So I was able to check out the show and do it. I thought it was great. I actually really enjoyed it. Now that I know a little bit of the time period it takes place, I thought it was going to be a one-off story that had nothing to do with the actual storyline of Dragon Ball, because there is, if you've been watching Dragon Ball from the beginning, there is a story plot to it, and it continues. I think the only one that you can consider not canon is Dragon Ball GT, which I won't get into. But Dragon Ball Daima sort of continues that Dragon Ball GT journey in a way, and Dragon Ball GT is something that people, I guess, are actually more positive about nowadays. But anyways, Dragon Ball Daima, it ended up being really good animation. It ended up being a prequel, which I wasn't expecting. It takes place right after the Majin Buu saga. And they're introducing new canon stuff that I'm like, oh, I kind of like what you guys are doing with this. So it's only on the first episode, so I'm gonna continue to watch, and hopefully I keep enjoying it. But I really did like the first episode, so I do recommend it if any of you guys are Dragon Ball fans and want to check it out.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah, dude, and I think it's on Netflix, that was also a surprise that Netflix would have it. So I
think it's on Hulu too, isn't it?
I think it's everywhere. I think they just said everybody can have it because, again, Dragon Ball is such a popular property.
You get a Dragon Ball.
Dude, when Dragon Ball Super ended, people were renting out stadiums so they could watch the final episode on a stadium. So it was that's how crazy people are over Dragon Ball. And then just the last thing that I kind of watched, and this was a little depressing, but I watched Graveyard of the Fireflies, which I kind of was talking about on our Discord channel yesterday.
Oh yeah, what is that?
So it's a Studio Ghibli produced movie from 1988, and it's on record as being one of the best animated movies ever. On a lot of lists, it's number one. So since it was on Netflix, I'm like, there's no way I don't watch this movie, even though I knew right off the beginning that it was going to be a very depressing and just sad movie. But I was not prepared at all with the last 30 minutes of this movie, because I knew where it was heading, and you get that feeling where your stomach is just turning and you kind of want to puke and you want to turn off the TV and walk away. But I just kept watching it. And I don't know, man, I got so sad and so depressed after watching, again, this movie, Graveyard of the Fireflies, that I highly recommend that people should watch it, because I think it's just, it's a very important movie, because it talks about what the Japanese people were going through during World War II. So it's really cool from this perspective of this young boy trying to make his him and his sister are trying to survive during this period, and it's really sad, really depressing, and it doesn't hold any punches. So I again highly recommend
Watch party.
Yeah,
No,
no.
I cannot watch it again. I cannot do it again, man.
I feel like any Studio Ghibli film, I end up bawling my eyes out. I think the first one I watched was Spirited Away, and that one, the pig scene, lost it.
Yeah.
Can I say something blasphemous?
You've never seen any?
I've never seen a Studio Ghibli movie.
That's
Wow.
crazy. Because Max
I
has
know.
them all. If you did
I
want to, I
know.
mean,
I still
yeah.
haven't seen any of them. I've
Well-
seen like parts of some of them, but I've never seen
They're
any of them.
heartbreaking.
Yeah, I started my journey when Max added them, and like it was,
Yeah.
they were just available. And I still haven't seen all of them, but you know, it's Spirit Away is definitely the goat. I do feel like that's the goat of all of them. Like if you gotta check one out, check out Spirited Away.
I want to watch them. I don't like watching movies by myself.
Well, that sounds like a real problem.
It definitely
I'll
is a
save
real
them all
problem.
for you. We can watch them together.
All right,
I
thank
got
you.
you. I got you.
That's why you're my Venom.
I mean,
That's why we get on here an hour before Carlos does. He has no idea what we're talking about.
we're actually watching movies together.
Yeah. We're watching the movie we're supposed to talk about.
but
3 times speed before you get in.
no, and I'm not jealous of that at all. So you know, I'm not in the background at my home just wondering what you guys are doing.
Twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah, those were like the only things, and other than Peaky Blinders, which you know I'm on season number 3. That's all I wanted to come in.
Are you Tom Hardy already?
Well, Tom Hardy came back in season 3, and now I see where Anya Taylor's character might come in, because I don't want to spoil it, but there's an opportunity now for that character to come in and scoop up the main character. So like, yeah, so I'm like excited to continue to watch that.
I'll continue to watch it at some point.
Cool.
I feel like that's a show that I would enjoy. I just haven't had the time to really pick it up right now.
Yeah, I mean, Cillian Murphy.
That was totally my thing for forever. But then I actually started watching it. But then I stopped watching it to watch something else, and then I just haven't gone back. I think I'm still like early second season.
Yeah. I think I just love seeing Cillian Murphy in that role.
Yeah,
Cillian.
He's amazing. Yeah.
He's so good in that, and you know, I did get to
in
the
everything.
part where there's some meme that rolls around every once in a while of like him slapping all the brothers or telling them like, don't do that, don't do this, and I finally got to that scene, and I was very happy to see that. But, yeah.
So Raul, what have you been watching?
So I've been watching all of the animes that are out. So like the Bleach, the Tower of God I'm actually behind. That I get catch up on, but I've been watching Blue Lock and My Hero, and all of those, and still the Orb with the Earth and all that stuff. Due to that had such a like big twist. I hate that I have to wait till next week. That's the thing that I hear about new anime is I have to wait a whole freaking week to watch the next episode. But the big thing I have been watching, well, there's 2 things, and one of them I want to talk about, but one that I started watching because I don't know, I've been looking for an anime to like start watching and that like I get hooked on, and I finally got one that my friend Jose told me about forever ago, but I never watched it. But it's a sports anime called Ace of Diamonds or Ace of Diamond. It's a baseball anime, and I'm hooked. Like I watch it, like I watch it on my phone. I took a pause from One Piece, so I'm still not even caught up with it because I've been at lunch. I'll watch Ace of Diamond. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's about this kid who's pretty much a freshman in high school. Like he's a pitcher, but like they go deep into other plays. But if you're into sports animes, I highly suggest it. If you're not into sports animes, then you might not like it. But
okay,
it's cool.
Interesting.
But the other thing is, so the Legend of Vox Machina.
Yeah.
This time they finally like swayed from the live campaign that they did, and I don't know how I feel about it because it's like it makes sense for the show, but I don't know what's gonna happen now. Like I don't know what's gonna happen now because of what happened in the last 3 episodes. So
Do you like
I'm
that more
still.
though, knowing that not what's going to happen, or would you prefer it sticks with the campaign even though you know what's going to happen next?
It, I I guess it depends on how they do it, because or how it pays off. Because I could be okay with it depending on what they do next. Because there's still some characters that they haven't introduced that were in
Mm-hmm.
the live campaign that I don't know if they are going to introduce, but I guess we'll find out. But some major things happened that didn't happen in the live campaign, so I don't know if they're gonna stick with the new thing or if they're gonna somehow
Bring it
change
back.
it to kind of go
And
back in line, because the
Mhm.
final big arc still hasn't happened, and I don't know how they're gonna do that.
are you talking about episodes 6 through 9 that just came out today? Or are you talking about
Yeah,
episode? Okay,
no, 6 through 9.
I haven't seen those or 7. Is it 7, 8, and 9? 7, 8, and 9. Yeah,
Oh yeah, 7, 8, 9. Yeah,
I haven't seen those. But the last three before that, they were really great, man. Like I really enjoy that
yeah.
whole going to hell and everything that I saw. And then I did like the kaiju on kaiju action, sort of. You
Oh
know.
yeah. No, yeah. That's still stuck with the campaign, except for like the reason why they went to hell was a little bit different.
I feel like I need you to give a whole summary of what happened in the campaign and then what's going on in the show. Like we need a whole separate episode on you just talking
By
about that, and
yourself,
then
yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it seems like you know everything and you're saying everything, and I'm like that sounds amazing, but I don't know where the connections happen because I haven't watched it.
I think you're getting into like the whole book versus movie perspective that a lot
Yeah, it
of
pretty much is.
Mhm.
that's what it is, because I'm like, yeah, like, I'm reading The Wild Robot even though I already watched the movie, and like I already see like all the differences from the movie versus the
Yeah,
book. So it's just kind of like, I mean, I don't hate anything because it's just like it's a kid's book, but at the end of the day, it's just kind of like this is how people get upset about when things actually go on
yeah,
television or on movies because they're not following what they should be following.
exactly.
Which that's the thing I always applaud about manga, that they actually do always follow like
No, they
like
don't. It depends on the manga.
God, I mean, because you've only read one. I read like a couple to know that whatever you're reading on the manga transitions perfectly to what they never go off like, well, you know what, this story plot, and even though sometimes they should like, oh, this story plot didn't work, let's actually divert it in this direction. Bleach is sort of doing that, but Bleach is different. Like that's different because obviously we
Yeah,
know the history behind that. But yeah, I think most of the time like manga does stay very very on course.
Well, I guess we're gonna need an episode on a manga versus a show and see if they're similar enough too.
where we actually read the manga and watch the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll do a live
Solo
reading
leveling.
for everyone.
Yeah.
Solo leveling. I volunteer.
Well, let's let Sylvia talk too. Sylvia, I'm interested in what you've been.
You know what? The sad part is I haven't watched anything but Venom. I've continued kind of watching All American, but before Carlos came on, because obviously Raul and I had our whole hour beforehand.
Yeah.
I haven't been feeling the best this week, so honestly, I came home, I would make food, which you guys didn't like my enchiladas, and Carlos bullied me a little bit about it, but that's fine.
I felt like you were doing so there was a big controversy this week with a product on TikTok with
the
Simu, the boba. I felt like you were doing the same thing with the boba, man.
Okay.
Culture appropriation.
I feel like we need to put
She was not presenting it to Sharks,
poll
though.
or leave a comment or whatever you want to leave. Just let us know. Do you like corn tortillas or flour tortillas? Apparently, there's a right answer.
I do feel
No.
like
It all depends where you're from, though.
Yeah.
But see, I'm not opposed to your
I don't
enchiladas.
think flour enchiladas is a thing at all. Like I don't think it's. Like,
it is.
I have never.
It's like Southwest
Obviously,
U.S.
I made
it's more of a Tex-Mex
They
thing.
tasted
But
good.
it's like in the northern part of Mexico, in some parts,
Yeah.
they do like flour tortillas for everything.
I just feel like Sylvia's pitch on the show would be like, so I invented these enchiladas, new way of doing enchiladas. It's healthier, it's better. You know,
They were definitely
Flour
not
is not healthier. The corn ones are healthier than the flour ones.
Yeah, they were not healthier. They were
I'm
worse.
saying that's
for
how
you.
the boba stuff was presented to the
Yeah.
sharks. It's like,
Okay, well, you know what? If anyone wants to leave a comment or start a poll, which one is better?
or give us a
Corn
recipe
or
on the
flour?
right way for enchiladas.
I wish I could post a picture of what my enchiladas looked like so people
You
can
can.
vote if they would like it or not.
No,
Carlos,
on the
make it
Discord.
happen.
No, it's there's different ways.
We
It's
have a
kind of
foodie
great.
channel in there.
We
We
do have a
do.
food channel. My mom, when she's all my life, when she makes enchiladas, she never put chicken or any kind of protein. It was always just like the bare, like
We always did chicken.
tortillas.
My mom always did chicken.
Yeah, but like now she's done. She's doing that, but it's just kind of like it just depends, man, how you want to make your enchiladas. In this case, yeah, you chose.
Pork.
You made them out of pork. I
Yeah.
don't think
What
that's
kind of
allowed.
pork?
It
Like
was
pork loin?
no, it was pork chorizo. Chorizo.
Oh, so that's not
Yeah.
really pork. That's chorizo.
Yeah, that's what I made it from.
And I don't think
then
you're
I
supposed
made
to
my
make
own sauce within it.
The
Yeah, and then
chorizo?
I made my own sauce for it.
Dude, you were just making whatever and decided to compare them to
No, it
enchiladas.
No, okay, I'm gonna
I
send you
approve,
guys the
Sylvia.
recipe.
I'm
And you
gonna.
guys,
I would still eat one.
thank you. See,
And then if it was good, I would eat more.
see, and it was good. I feel like it was.
Yeah,
But
Well,
I also love chorizo though.
yeah. And I'm confident you got your chorizo from the right place. So like that, I'm not worried about. It's not like you went to Julasco and got your
See,
chorizo
Carlos,
from.
you just bully me. I try to do one
Dude.
nice thing about making you. You don't
Dude,
even
put-
deserve my enchiladas. I'm gonna
Dude.
bring multiple plates of enchiladas and strictly give them
I-
to Ramon. Ramon gets them too.
I'm daring you to.
That's
put
why you're
that
my
enchi-
Venom.
I'm daring you to put that enchilada picture on our Discord.
Please do, because
And
they looked lovely.
Okay.
I even shredded my own cheese.
Hey, dude, I don't
What
know
kind
how
of
to
cheese,
cook
actually?
Oh
Six-
no.
Chihuahua cheese. It should have been
Monterey? Was it
No, it was Chihuahua. You probably did Chihuahua.
maybe?
No,
She did Chihuahua cheese. She had to.
no.
I don't know. It was
It
a
might have
white
not-
cheese.
It might have been mozzarella.
No, it was not
Oh
mozzarella.
my
It was
fucking
definitely not
God.
mozzarella. I
Stop
can
it.
promise you that. So Venom 1. We're all ready for that, right?
Okay.
Which again, spoiler alert, because we're gonna be talking about Venom 1 and Venom 2. So spoilers will come ahead. Venom 1, thoughts, I guess, in a sense of if you don't mind, I would actually like to go first this time around.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
do mind, but you can do it anyway.
Well, you can go first.
I'm
It's okay.
kidding.
No, I enjoyed it. My thing was, I wish we saw more of the relationship of how Venom ended up loving Tom as much as he did. Because I feel like at one point he was just all for Tom and there was no build up towards it. So that was my only downfall of it. But I do know that Tom Hardy, or the actor that plays him, the reason he took on the role is actually because of his son. His son was a big fan of the comics. And his son actually trained him a little bit to be a part of, or how to act as Venom or portray his character. And then during the filming sessions, he actually had a little bit of an earpiece in. So when it was going back and forth between the voices of him and Venom, he actually heard Venom in his earpiece because he recorded that part previous to actually recording his part. But that was my only thing that I didn't like. I wish that they kind of showed us a little bit more of a progression with their relationship.
And for anyone that didn't know, Tom Hardy also recorded the voice of Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tom Hardy, I mean, I think I said it on the last episode. He's such a genius when it comes to doing voices.
I love Tom Hardy.
It's insane how many roles he's done where his the way he sounds, it's never the same. Like I probably couldn't even tell you the way he normally sounds, because I don't think I could even tell you in which movie he actually didn't use a voice or an accent or some way to distinguish himself. But yeah, I think this movie succeeds because of Tom Hardy. So I'm glad you're bringing attention to that right away.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I completely agree with you, because like I love Tom Hardy, and I will say about the movie, or at least the first movie, in a way I think I enjoyed it more the first time that I saw it. But I appreciate different things now. But honestly, I don't know how I feel about Michelle Williams.
Yeah.
Really?
Is that her name?
Yeah, Michelle
Yeah.
Williams got a lot of flag for her wig in this movie, in both movies, because she's wearing a wig.
Oh, in second movie, she was weird. Dude, honestly, like I'm not really a big fan of her in general. Like I can't tell you a movie that I've seen her in that I'm like, yes,
like the
did such a good
actress?
job. Yeah,
Yeah,
like she because she gets a lot of like accolades and like a lot of praise,
So
but like there's nothing that I've seen her in that I'm like, yes, she's awesome.
So she's famous from like Dawson's Creek. She was married to Heath Ledger, and and what else? And then I think I've seen her in a movie where it's Manchester by the Sea, and I think that's what earned her an Oscar nomination. I think she might have won an Oscar.
Casey Affleck was in it too.
Yeah, and Oscar in that movie, it's also heartbreaking if you ever have seen yeah.
Fun fact about Manchester by the Sea: Matt Damon was offered that role, but he passed it up to do The Great Wall.
Wow. Yeah, that happens all the time with actors, but yeah.
I didn't mind the actress because I felt like she was supposed to act like she was a little bit awkward and weird. Because that was the vibe that I was getting from her. It was more of she still wants to be friends with him because she loves and cares about him, but she doesn't have that romantic aspect anymore. And I think that's the feeling that I was getting from her, which is why she was a little bit odd and awkward. And I think in the second movie, it was a little bit more prevalent because she was extremely odd, I felt like.
Yeah.
But she does have a different fiance. She's with another guy, but she still really cares about her ex. Yeah.
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah.
I mean, I really liked her. Because I really liked her as She-Venom. I thought she was great as She-Venom, and I'm glad that we got her as She-Venom in both the movies. But I'm like, man, I feel like once you have the symbiote in you, like it's hard to let go because of what it brings to you. So sorry, Ro, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to say
no, it's fine. I with her, I kind of feel that like that role should have gone to somebody that wasn't as big as her, because I think like the movie would have benefited from somebody in that role that had probably less screen time and like a smaller role, but still kind of the subject for Tom Hardy's like affection and all of that stuff, but just less of her, because like I didn't the parts of the movie totally make sense, like her caring about him, taking him to the hospital, and like small things like that, but because I think they cast a bigger actress, then they had to have more of her. And in the first movie, it kind of makes sense, but then in the second movie, it I think it was just she wasn't as needed, in my opinion.
You know who I was thinking would be good in that role, and this was my thought during the movie too. The girl that was in Jurassic Park, I don't remember her name, but she's a little bit of a redhead.
Bryce Dallas Howard, yeah.
She was in an episode of Black Mirror too. I feel like she would.
Bryce Dallas
I feel like she would excel in that role. She can act a little bit awkward, but at the same time make it look normal. And I don't know why I automatically pictured her, but that was my thought right when I saw Michelle. I was thinking of the other actress and how well she would have played that role. Which is nothing to say for the actress that played Michelle. I think she did do a good job.
I do feel like Bryce Dallas Howard is so smoking hot. It's like that would have been distracting to me if you would have had her.
See, I think she's cute. I don't think she's hot. I think she's cute.
Yeah.
I'll send you the right pictures from the right angle, Ro.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I'll appreciate it.
You send it to me too, actually. Please. Send it in the group chat.
Post on the Discord.
I mean, I do want to go a little bit back because you said the first Venom came out in 2018 and kind of take a little bit trip down, memory lane. But honestly, when this movie was announced, I think a lot of people didn't have high hopes for it. They thought this movie wasn't going to work, especially because Sony just doesn't have the right track record in making these superhero movies, especially in the last couple of years. And the fact of like having a Venom without Spider-Man, that sounds like something that shouldn't exist, shouldn't happen, shouldn't have worked. But to everybody's surprise, the first Venom
made almost
$900 million, and that's just because the character Venom himself is it's another Deadpool. It's another Deadpool enigma. You have very popular characters that people have waited their whole life to see the right interpretation of them, and I think that's what escalated the movie to be so successful.
And they have like a very popular, like a very appealing actor playing Venom too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, you don't get a sequel or that much money or the success this movie had without Tom Hardy, so I'm giving him all the credit for it.
But I will also say, because of Venom, we got some of the crappy movies afterwards, like Morbius and some of and Kraven the Hunter.
And that's the thing that upsets me because, Sylvia, if you don't know it, Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man. Right now, Spider-Man's being leased to the MCU. As long as Sony allows that he will continue to be in the MCU, Sony could move forward with their, like another Spider-Man, which I hear rumors about, maybe possibly in Venom 3. Maybe we might get a little bit towards bringing Andrew Garfield back, or even Tobey Maguire, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
But Sony, wait, I'm gonna wait for you. I'm gonna say this thought. So Sony, honestly, when Venom succeeded in making as much money as they should have moved forward with putting Venom in all these spin-off movies. Like somehow put Venom in the center of it, and for some reason they've chosen to just make their own Madam Web, make their own whatever. And those movies haven't worked at all. But I feel like with Venom, they took nothing from the success of it, because the sequel, I looked it up, and even though the budget was the same, made less money, and even though I enjoyed that one more, it just didn't really do anything for me to say that. Like, I don't have a lot of hope for the third one because of how the second one did financially and the reception to it.
So the part of the reason why, so Sony and Disney almost split up, but Tom Holland was part of the reason why they're like stuck together. So part of that deal was that there was going to be 2 more Spider-Man solo movies, which we got one. So there's still another one like under the agreement, and there's going to be another team up movie like in the MCU with Spider-Man in it. But that's technically the only part that's still part of the agreement when they kind of reconciled between Sony and Disney. To kind of still keep Spider-Man in both for Tom Holland specifically.
Because I saw today that supposedly like Tom Holland's reading the script for Spider. He said hey, I've looked at the script for 4, and he's they're working on it. So it's one of those things, especially because I don't know if you saw the end credit for I know we haven't gotten there, but Let There Be Carnage, but it's set up for that Venom to be in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And I know in the third one they're kind of gonna circle back to it a little, but I know they've completely abandoned that, for Venom to show up with Tom Holland, and it kind of pisses me off because I was really excited when I saw him show up in the MCU.
Yeah,
I was so fucking
they just
excited.
added it as a sprinkle to let us know like it could happen, type of thing. Like he is now part of the universe, so it could happen. I do too, and I think Tom Holland has said before that he wants it to happen as well.
But it totally makes sense right now because the way that the last Spider-Man movie ended, like everybody forgot about Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's no Spider-Man, or everybody forgot about Tom Holland or Peter Parker. So right now it's kind of like the perfect opportunity to do that, because that could be kind of the new introduction or whatever of all that, and kind of see his struggle with being Spider-Man, and also kind of the whole Venom thing with the whole identity with Tom Holland, and then kind of Tom Hardy around with Tom Holland. That'd be interesting.
When I watched Infinity War, I feel like that was the perfect opportunity for Spider-Man to pick up the Venom symbiote, because they were in a distant planet. He could have gotten it, and then he could have, shown up in Endgame with that suit. They haven't done it. I do feel like there's no way in hell that for these next 2 movies we don't get Spider-Man in the symbiote suit. Like, I feel like, especially as these movies continue to like get us off the planet Earth and just continue to go into other places in the universe, I think there is possibility that we do get Tom Holland in that symbiote suit. And then whether we get Venom or not, that's really irrelevant, because again, I feel like with this Venom, like I've finally gotten the Venom that I've always wanted, because that's the big hype to this movie. Venom looks the way he should have. Whereas if you saw Spider-Man 3 back in like 2005 or whenever it came out, that was so disappointing. The fact that
I think Topher Grace wasn't a good
Topher Grace wasn't a good Eddie Brock. He should have never been cast as Eddie Brock. And that Venom suit was just ridiculous looking. And the director has gone on record to say, like, I didn't want Venom in my movie. The studio pushed for me to add Venom.
Sam Raimi?
Sam Raimi has gone on record that Sony pushed them to have. And it didn't work.
It's the same thing with the second Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, that they had so many villains in there that they like, because they're trying to start the what do they call it, the something 5, the
Sinister Six,
Sinister Six, yeah.
That
they kind of went overboard.
Yeah, so you're right now, Sylvia. You're gonna have to be this is one of those episodes where I would say you need to be the mother to me and Raul, because me and him are, if you don't hold us back, if you don't push us back,
Yeah, I have no idea what you guys are talking
nerd
about.
out because we're
We're gonna rant like crazy.
We're gonna rant. We're gonna talk about like how much we love Venom from like the 1995 Spider-Man. So you really need to keep us on focus because
Well, back to Venom 1 then. Not in the universe. The episode itself, or I guess the movie, not so much the episode, because
episode 1 of Venom.
Yeah, episode 1. But as much as I love what you guys were saying, and I would love to see him in the Spider-Man universe, because we did see that little snippet, not in 1, but I believe it was in 2. Yeah. The snippet that we got after 1 is with Woody, right? And that's when we kind of see him saying something.
There's a snake in my boot.
And then he mentions Carnage, right? But at that point, he doesn't even have Carnage in him, which I guess is a spoiler right there. But I do like how they ended it to the point where he now is able to pick back up with being the journalist that he was. But it seems like he's still trying to tell people that Venom died during, that whole fight that he had. Which goes to I guess my question would make more sense after we talk about Venom 2, but Venom to me seems like the weaker of all of the other
symbiotes.
That were there.
They're always, I don't know why they're making it seem like that. Like he's just
probably for comedic purposes. I feel like it kind of turned into a thing.
Especially because when you see the other symbiotes, they can all really do cool stuff, and Venom, he's not able to harden his whatever powers.
Like Riot and Carnage,
Yeah, so it does seem like that, and so I don't know. I mean, again, it's a choice they're making. with the third movie, there is hype because overall the comics have done a really good job at kind of putting a backstory to where these Venom symbiotes, like the symbiotes came from. So I think that's going to be explored in the third one. Maybe it's a post-credit scene, and I think Sony, whether you want it or not, they're moving towards doing an Avengers Endgame or Avengers sort of movie with all their Sony heroes, where they're possibly gonna defeat this really crazy bad guy. Ro, I know you're not on X anymore, but there's Null. Null is the creator of the symbiotes, and he's been teased to be in the Venom third movie.
So wait. So they're trying to have like Morbius and Kevin the Hunter, Madam Web.
Well, Tom Hardy has said this is his last Venom movie. So a lot of people, because of the end credit scene and what it potentially could lead to, they're saying like, well, if they do move forward with
thing.
Well, like there's a character Null that has been introduced in the comics, and he's sort of the reason behind these symbiotes, like why they exist. So possibly in this next Venom movie, that's going to be like a post-credit thing that they're going to move forward towards fighting this Null character, and that's maybe when you have the new Andrew Garfield come back, working with Venom. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, but I'm excited to kind of explore where they go with that.
I don't know if we'll ever see another Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, but I never thought I'd see another Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. So you never know. If the money's right.
I will say, Carlos, to what you were saying with Null, I was reading up a little bit about kind of the Venom series, and in the first movie, they actually almost did mention Null and kind of the planet that they were on, but they decided to kind of take that back, and that's not the route that they went. So I'm kind of familiar with that portion of it.
That's awesome, yeah, dude. When you say little things like that, it makes me really happy because my body just felt like my spider sense went up.
So they were going to do it, and they had all intention of filming that portion of it to show the planet and then show Null and kind of show how the symbiotes are being made and kind of how they're being sent out. They decided against it for right now, which I'm assuming in the third movie, like you said, that's probably what they will kind of reveal a little bit. Yeah. But I was also interested to learn in the first movie, it actually wasn't supposed to be a male actor at all. So Venom was actually supposed to be a woman character, where it was a woman who lost her child during a miscarriage, and then because she was there was so much agony with her, that's when the symbiote found her, and he connected to her because of that agony that she had. So it was actually supposed to be kind of, we still got the she-Venom, right? But it was supposed to be most of the movie was supposed to be she-Venom.
That's kind of, that would have been interesting. I mean, honestly, that's the thing about Sony. They take some risks, some of them work, and some of them have not. So that would have been kind of interesting.
Most of them don't
work. Yeah.
Very few of them do.
something that I'm gonna kind of like talk about, which is a reminder to when Venom 1 got reviewed by a bunch of critics. But Sylvia, a lot of people were comparing the bad guy in the first movie to Elon Musk. Like, if you see any
But I
review,
love Elon.
no, I know you do, but I'm saying if you see any review from Venom 1, you will see that when it comes to that character, everybody it's like this is the Elon Musk of that universe. What did you think about that?
Honestly, that is the first thought that I had. I was like, "Oh, this is Elon Musk," but
I did want to bring that up, but I forgot. So thank you for bringing it up,
he's my
Carlos.
love, though. He's my one true love. No matter what
Oh,
happens, he's my
God.
one true love. But I thought it was interesting where he kept saying like, "Oh, bring another one." He wasn't good enough for like the symbiote. This one wasn't good enough for the symbiote. And then it made me think, why isn't he going in? If he's saying all of these people are saying they're not good enough, he should be the one that walks in, right? And then obviously it ends up taking over him as well and all of that. But
Well, that's the thing with the symbiotes, and in this first movie, they, if you get one on you and you're not compatible, you're gonna die. And even though Tom Hardy was compatible, they made it sound like he was still slowly killing Tom Hardy's character. He was still killing Eddie Brock by his liver and all failure and all that. So that's something that I really, even going into the third movie, because I've seen in the trailer that they kind of joke about that, like, hey, if you take over this horse, would you kill it? So it's the thing that I'm still not understanding. Is the symbiote, once you're bonded 100%, not gonna hurt you, or is it possibly still killing you little by little? Because my thought was that as the symbiote becomes more tied to the Tom Hardy's character, like he's just adjusting to a point where it's just like it's a mutual relationship. There's no harm being done to either one of the hosts. It's like the host and the parasite.
Well, by definition, that's kind of what a symbiote is. It's something that's mutually benefiting, like each other. So, or else if it was helping one but hurting the other, that's what a parasite is. Which is why in the first movie, like I found that funny because Eddie Brock kept calling Venom a parasite, and he found it like insulting. But in the beginning he pretty much was a parasite, which is why Eddie Brock was being hurt until they kind of came to an agreement, and like Venom stopped kind of hurting Eddie Brock or whatever. But I feel like it's in some way, if they're compatible, I feel like that's something that they can control. I think in the canon of the movies.
yeah, Carlos, that goes back to what you were saying too. For me, I was thinking of Venom as more of like an AI, almost like he doesn't really have too much emotion with him, but then we do see his emotion coming out, and it seems like he can almost choose if he wants to have that body or not. If he doesn't want to have that body, then he can basically kill them and he's not compatible. But it seems like he wanted Tom, which is why I was saying I don't like how the plot didn't really show us why he ended up liking Tom, because we do see him going into the hospital.
Because he's a loser like him.
But we see him going into the hospital and we see them saying like, oh, like all of your organs are almost like, we don't know what's going on. And then you see him completely being able to take control of his body, and now it's no longer an issue almost, or it doesn't seem like it is, but they never really talk about how they fully combine with the body.
Yeah, and I guess with the symbiote, like the thing that we're meant to understand is that once you have it in you, they get to know everything about you. They are able to tap into past memories, anything that they want about you, which is what I think it would be beneficial to humankind if people could have the symbiote for like a minute just to cure anything that's wrong with them, because that's what it does. It goes in you, it cures. If you have something, it'll cure it and make you better, and then you can just pass it on to the next person. So I think when you look at from that, I think Venom could do a lot of good. And I'm not trying to like put myself in what the bad guy of this movie is probably thinking in his head, because again, he's trying to be all for humanity, but at the end of the day, he wants to bring these creatures, and clearly when they get to Earth, they're not trying to help us out. They're trying to like rule us. So it's kind of like kind of weird.
Yeah, and I will say like I'm still I think for the purposes of the movies, I kind of like the personality that Venom takes on, and especially between him and Eddie. But I don't know, like I kind of got used to the old Venom of like just Venom being all like crazy and not comedic. And
like
not
obsessed
wanting,
with Spider-Man.
yeah, not wanting to be heroic and all that stuff. So it's I don't know. I guess it's just a different version of Venom that I think for the purposes of these movies is entertaining, but it's different than what I would have expected it or would have done.
Because to me, the first Venom movie, honestly, man, I think, again, going back to some of the critics' reviews from like a couple years ago, when this movie doesn't really start till Venom like pops out of Tom Hardy's head and you can actually see each other, like one another talking to each other. Because I think the character Venom and stuff, I know you're not saying you're not enjoying it, but dude, I thought it was just like, people were saying like, ship these two dudes together, like forget Michelle Williams, these guys, like they're meant for each other. And, whether it's romantically or just you found a partner in life that you can be with and just live happily on for the rest of your life. But I just thought that once Venom comes into the scene and you can actually see him and talk to him and he's hearing him, I thought that's when the movie actually got better. And that's why I think I enjoyed Venom 2, because it starts that way with them living together. He has the apartment. He has like a wheel so that he can bite into the wheel. He has chicken running around the apartment. He's constantly wanting to bite people.
Funny and share.
So I think the movie works when you have those two characters actually talking to each other and stuff.
Which is funny because it's Tom Hardy and himself talking to each other.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Well, then I guess moving on to Venom 2,
what did you think about it? I mean, overall, like, what did you think about like the ending? Like, the ending is dumb, going into space, but they stopped the rocket. Did you like those fight scenes at the end? Because that's kind of like the third part of the movie is dumb, having the big climatic fight.
The big fight.
I did. I just also, they made Venom seem so weak compared to, was it Riot, right? That was the other one?
Yeah.
They made him seem so weak compared to Riot, and yet Venom still rise to the occasion. I feel like so many movies do that, and I just wish that they didn't, almost. As in, like, if Venom was weaker, then Venom should have passed.
Yeah.
Or if Riot was weaker, then Riot shouldn't have had the upper hand the whole time.
Well, this is also another complaint. I know I haven't seen the third movie, but in the third movie, it seems like he's going to be going up against another symbiote, and they're having the problem that the Flash TV show had, where it's like that show went on for like
speedster each time.
Each a speedster every season, like it went on for 7 seasons, and they could never.
Flash.
They did try to eventually give him a villain that wasn't a speedster, but it's just like this thing, like how many times can you see Venom go against another symbiote? Like you have to introduce something that's different, or people are just gonna get bored. Yes, I'm gonna defend the second movie when we come to it, because for some reason, even though Venom is fucking awesome, incredible, you cannot get your eyes off him when you see him as a kid or as an adult man for the first time. I do think that Carnage, somehow they managed to even top Venom. Like you already think like Venom is as crazy as it's ever gonna get, and when they introduce Carnage, holy shit! You mean there's a red one that looks fucking cooler and it's crazier? So it's just brutal. And he's brutal. So like I 100% can say that Carnage, the second movie, was needed because people have always wanted to see Carnage in live action. But I think for the third one, fucking big mistake with going with another symbiote. And I haven't seen it, but I just feel like if that's what it is, it's a huge mistake.
What can they have besides another symbiote for a Venom movie?
Well, there's comics, man. I mean, I haven't read them, but I'm sure there's like something else.
Wolverine?
Oh,
it's Sony. So Sony only has the Spider-Verse. So it can only be a Spider-Man villain or Spider-Man.
It's repetitive.
It's like we've seen it. We've done that. And I think, like you said, the second one is a little bit different because it seems like the second one, he's almost like the father of that symbiote. So it's a little bit different as opposed to the first one.
Father too, which is hilarious.
I have so many opinions on that, but before we go on to the second one, I did enjoy the first one. I hate when movies, and this isn't just for Venom, I just think this is overall for movies. I don't like when they show you the underdog and the underdog is constantly winning, because that's not real life. And I get it's a movie, but the underdogs don't always win type of thing. So I did like the ending, though. I don't know how Venom got back to him, if they were all in the water. I understand that you probably just need a small piece of the symbiote in order to get back in you, and then it slowly grows over time. So that part I understood, and that part I'm fine with. I just don't know how in the water he was able to find him.
Yeah, no, I couldn't tell you neither, because they made it a point to say if they don't combine or he's not without a host for too long, he would just end up dying. So
so he must have found him pretty fast, or like a little portion of him did.
You know, my last thing on Venom 1 before we move on, there's a doctor in that movie that's helping Tom Hardy's character. She's a famous actress. I just cannot recall her name. She dated Chris Evans. But once they find out that she's helping Tom Hardy, they give her a symbiote, and then eventually she dies, and that symbiote dies because they're not able to pair it fast enough.
Jenny Slate?
Jenny Slate.
Yeah. Dorcas Skirt.
So every time I watch this movie, I cannot help but be upset at the fact that there was an opportunity there to make
that they killed her off.
There's another famous
She-Venom.
Not She-Venom. There's another like one that people would have loved to see, and that's Scream. Scream is like a yellow looking symbiote, so she could have been Scream. And just the idea that they like didn't even think about that. They didn't think about like, let's make her scream and not kill her off, and maybe bring her on another movie or post-credit scene. She's still alive, and sure enough, she's Scream. That just pisses me off because again, Scream would have been another one of those symbiotes that I would have gone crazy had I seen it in real life, because it's different than the other ones because it's so colorful yellow, whereas opposed to like, you know, them being black or gray or dark blue. And I mean, Carnage is red, so that one's cool. Like that one, no notes from Carnage.
I loved her character. I think she was.
Yeah,
I liked her
I love
way
Jenny
more
Slate
than.
in general, anyway.
So imagine her as the doctor, but now with the Scream, she's a little bit nutty, and that's who she's better at, you know, portraying these like kind of crazier characters. Have you seen Parks and Recs? Yeah, have you seen Parks and Recs? Yeah.
I did like the ending though, that we got like that very last snippet, which kind of leads us to the second one, which then we saw Woody. And I loved that he said Carnage at the very end of like that conversation that he had with Tom.
Yeah.
Because it made you think like, oh, is the next symbiote going to be Carnage? But obviously he still didn't have him in there. But I did like the little I know Marvel does that a lot with like the little snippets at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, post-credit scenes.
With the second one, like you were saying, Carlos, I did like when it first started off and he's already with Venom and they're just like communicating with each other and they're having almost an argument because he wants to eat brains, but then he's not letting him eat brains. He wants him to eat the chickens, but the chickens are his friend, so he can't do anything to them.
So I was so confused in the beginning of the second because there was like a Black Canary character that like in fighting with like people, and I was like, what the hell's happening? Like there's other powered people now yes, obviously it's Marvel, so it kind of makes sense that there's other powered people. But I don't know. It just kind of seemed as a weird beginning. Which I know is kind of foreshadowing.
Screaming, right, and all of that. Yeah. See, that to me too. It was like they needed the symbiote or whatever. But she has powers, right? Like she already has powers, and
her character Shriek.
So it reminds me a bit of what was his name? Banshee, was it?
Yeah. Banshee. Yeah.
It reminded me a
which
little
is a
bit
mutant,
of that. Yeah, which reminded me of that, and then I started going back and forth between thinking, do they have mutants in this world or
that's
not?
the thing. That's the thing. When this movie came out, a lot of people were saying like you might have missed the biggest thing in this movie, which was that this girl was a mutant, and like people were kind of. This is a time where people were getting excited because they knew that Disney had acquired the rights, or we're in the process of acquiring.
Fox,
So those were kind of the seeds of like, oh shit, is there mutants in this universe? Like, are we gonna get more? So yeah, like she was a mutant. That's what she was.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's one of those things where they can't say mutants or Inhumans. Kind of when Kamala Khan came out, because she's technically an Inhuman, but they couldn't say Inhumans at the same time.
Well, I think the biggest one is like Scarlet, the Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver. When you go back to those movies, they don't refer to them as mutants.
But you can say that they were mutants.
Yeah, they couldn't say that. Now they can, but they couldn't 12 years ago, which is funny.
Well, they're Magneto's kids.
Yeah.
But so that was like the first part of the movie, right? And then he goes to meet with Woody, basically. But at that point,
there's a snake in my boot.
Yeah, but see, at that point, to me, I didn't know if Woody knew that she was already a mutant, or if he like what kind of combined them together. But then the best scene for me was when Venom basically told him like, "Hey, you're missing some things. Like, look at it." And then he looked around, and Venom basically was like, I got it. And then they sit down, and Venom's making him draw all of those pictures. Like, he has the best photographic memory. Yeah. And I feel like he could have used Venom so much more than what he was using him for, because he had all that knowledge. He had the memory. He was able to put these things together, and then it looked like Tom just wasn't using him to his abilities.
No, of course. Yeah,
he took it for granted.
Took it for granted, yeah. That's why I'm saying that this relationship where the other person could make you better, but you're just choosing not to get their help.
Well, it's kind of like the thing too, because like Venom was more ambitious because Venom wanted to be a hero. He wanted to go around eating bad guys' heads, and Tom Hardy wanted just peace and wanted to like have a peaceful life, doing reporter stuff, but not really affecting anything, and having Venom just eat chickens and chocolate.
But what's wrong with eating the brains of bad people? I'm sorry, but like
we're back to Death Note.
I know that's what I was doing. I was like, we're back to Death Note again.
No, because remember, I was L in Death Note. This is different. This is different.
Well, I mean, like, how do you judge who somebody's gonna be robbing a store and all of a sudden they deserve a death sentence and you can't
Like if
just?
they're about to-
It's kind of like the guy that was robbing the purse from the lady
in the first one. Yeah,
Yeah,
like he
eat
didn't
the
deserve
brain,
to
done.
die.
See,
Yeah.
done. Easy.
So you're okay murdering people?
I don't know
for
their name. I don't know their life.
I don't know.
What about the cops that were shooting at Venom in the first movie?
Well, they didn't die. He was just kind of knocking.
No, I know, but they were attacking Venom. So
doing their job. They're doing what they're told to do.
I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know enough about what he needs to consume to stay alive, or whether he needs to consume
something that's in brain and chocolate.
Yeah, or whether he actually needs it or he just craves it. I mean, there's I crave freaking chocolate all the time. Doesn't mean that.
See, this is why in Venom I eat so much chocolate, dark chocolate. Oh, yeah. I'm all for it. Either way, the one thing I didn't get from the second movie, which from the first movie I didn't understand their relationship and how they got to where they're at. The second movie I didn't understand how Venom. So Woody bit him, right? Yeah. Or what's his name in the Carnage. Well, I guess whatever his name was.
Cassidy.
So Cassidy bit him, and then he got a little bit of his blood, which ended up being, what he needed. But because Venom makes a quote, and he basically says, "Oh, he's a red one. Like, we don't need Annie. We got to back up. Like, we're done. Like, get out of there, right?" So, how was it that he gave birth, I guess, to someone that's stronger than him?
Yeah, like I will go with that because I wasn't a giant fan of like how it happened, because like Carnage is a separate symbiote. So just the fact that like Cassidy got him from biting, like and I guess consuming part of Venom and turn into a completely different symbiote.
See, it didn't make sense to me as someone who didn't read the comics or anything, because to me there's half-lives, right? So whenever you have a chemical or whatever that comes out, there's a half-life, so it splits it and it makes it less strong. So to me, I was thinking, okay, he's not going to be as strong as Venom, and then we see them fighting and he basically takes over the whole church, and I'm sitting there like, there's no way that Venom's gonna win this. I mean, there's no way.
Yeah, I mean, they have their weaknesses, which they did a good job of like laying it out, like
showing,
fire and noises. And I feel like that's the only reason why you even have that mutant character. It's to, when Carnage starts like slapping her around, like Woody's character is not okay with that. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Mm-hmm. So that's when you have like they're not connected 100%. There is like a disturbance.
Yeah, they're not symbiotic.
Yeah.
Which is what they say basically when Venom is down like on the ground and he has all the rubble around him. I think it was the doctor that said it. Or maybe it was Venom. He was saying like they're not actually connected. Like they're not symbiotes. Look at them. They're arguing with each other. He's trying to take control, and that's what I think gave Tom the energy to go back and fight.
Mm-hmm. I will say, like, I got kind of so the story of Venom kind of going around and then attaching to Eddie Brock and getting to know who Eddie Brock is, and then getting to know Venom, and then getting to know the combination of Eddie Brock and Venom. I think that's an appealing story. And then the whole fact of like him and Michelle Williams were together in the beginning, and then they broke up because he like fucked it up, and then kind of dealing with that whole thing, that makes for a better story. Whereas in the second movie, like I love Woody Harrelson, I love him, and I love Carnage, but I feel like in this movie it just wasn't as appealing of a story, because you just have another symbiote, which we already saw. But yes, it's a better symbiote and it's a more famous symbiote. But you have a symbiote, and it's a weird story with Shriek, and then Michelle Williams is kind of weird situation too, or Anne, and the best part of honestly, to me, the best part of the second movie is the relationship between Venom and Eddie Brock. That was the thing that I liked the most. Overall, I think I liked the first movie better because it was more of like introduced the whole concept of everything, and I think it was well done. It was a little bit easier to follow as a story, and I think it made it for a better story. Whereas the second, it was just kind of like, it was more mediocre of a story, even though it had cooler things.
How did you both like it when Venom said like goodbye Tom Hardy, like I'm going on my own, and we kind of have a few minutes where Venom is just kind of the breakup, and Venom's just going from like one host to another. How did you guys like that?
I thought it was funny.
But at the same time, he was killing all those people because they were compatible with him.
Them, yeah.
But then it gets back to like the lady that owned the store. She wasn't killed. He was chill with her, right?
Yeah.
He like stayed in her. And he liked her. So it goes back to, is it if they like the person that they're with, can they keep them alive? Do they need that personal connection with them? Which I guess makes sense because they learn all of their memories, but. So yes and no, because remember when he takes over somebody, like when he was taking over Annie, he became a woman, right? Or they became a woman. Maybe we should have been using the they pronoun for him, for them, because it seems like
that's been the only time though.
You're right, because when he took over the store owner, they were
any
not
other woman.
Yeah, they weren't a woman. Venom was Venom as a man, so
but she never transformed like full size.
True.
It was only like
so maybe it depends on the gender. Yeah, maybe it depends on the gender. So maybe all of them are theys.
I'm telling you, Michelle Williams wants to like have possession of Venom, like without a doubt. I just feel like whenever she has him, it's like. She seems like she's okay letting him go, but I feel like she would want to almost share custody of like, hey, you get Venom on Monday through Friday, but I'll have him on the weekend. Yeah, because I just feel like it's like a good match.
It does seem like she likes Venom more than she likes Eddie.
Well, Venom likes her too. He's heartbroken because they're not together. And
but Venom also at the end of the second movie really likes the Doctor.
Well, he says that, but I don't know if I believe him.
He slaps them and runs away.
I think Venom is very much action more than words, and he saw him taking action, and the Doctor was like, "Dude, you gotta get up. They're not combined. You gotta get up." And then I think Venom realized the Doctor isn't an enemy. He's a good guy.
No, I mean we didn't talk about Dan in the first, but he's from a comedic character. He's pretty like keep having him. He makes me laugh a
character.
Yeah.
I didn't mind him. I actually liked his character.
I like the actor in general from other stuff.
He serves his role, I think.
Yeah, that's the
Reid Scott.
He's in Beep. If you guys ever go back and watch Beep, yeah,
I haven't seen the show, but I've heard good things.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
So I guess it comes down to, what do you guys prefer, Venom 1 or Venom 2?
I mean, I think 2 for me. Yeah.
2. Ooh. Yeah, okay, 30 seconds each.
I thought we were going to do you this time. You and...
Nope, because I have a game for you guys.
Okay, so we're going to do a game, and then right now we're going to do our famous...
your 30 seconds.
Our movie fight.
Yeah, all right.
Bro, you want to go first this time, though. So I'll go I'll go first this time.
All right, I'm going to bring up the timer.
Okay. Oh, by the way, when I was listening to the episode, I put the timer on because when I was talking, it felt like it was not 30 seconds, but it was 30 seconds.
But it was, yeah. Oh, you didn't believe me?
No, I was like, there's no way that was 30 seconds. But I timed it.
All right, I'm going to start it. Ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay. I think Venom 2 is superior to Venom 1 because in Venom 1, you don't get Venom to 45 minutes in the movie. The first 45 minutes, a whole investigation and setting up all these pieces, and you're just kind of wondering, like, when is my Venom going to show up? Or in Venom 2, you get the relationship right off the back. You get Woody Harrelson playing as Carnage, and Carnage does not disappoint at all. Carnage looks exactly how Carnage should look. He starts killing people. He gets out of jail. You love that relationship. You love him in the car. You love the church scene. You love how much... it's so hard. Okay.
Yep. That's that.
I need a rebuttal on that.
It's what, 10 or 15 second rebuttal?
10 second, yeah, I think it's
10 second? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In 5, 4.
No. I get my 30 seconds first.
Yeah, no, I'm counting like in 5, 4, 3, 2. Like
Okay.
you start. Okay.
Got it.
In
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2.
The problem with the second Venom movie is that pretty much there's nothing original happening in the second movie anymore, because all the original stuff happened in the first movie. Because you do have, as the first movie, you have to kind of set up the characters and all that stuff. But in the first movie, you kind of get introduced to the originality of the new character, of the fact that you have Tom Hardy talking to himself as Venom and as Eddie Brock, and then you actually get Michelle Williams and kind of the breakup happening between them too.
Okay, let me do a 15
It
seconds
is so short.
rebuttal on the one. Yeah,
10 seconds.
It's 15. Let's do 15 seconds.
15. Okay. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
So in your first Venom movie, we didn't even talk about the bad guy because we couldn't even name what he was. All we referred to him was as like the Elon Musk. Where in the second one, we know who the bad guy is. We're not going even for Venom. We're going to see the bad guy. And again, I think the movie itself, it's well done. It's an hour and 30. You can get in and get out.
All right, and then I got a rebuttal too.
Okay. Ooh, this is stressful, and I'm not even the one talking about it. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
But in the second movie as well, if it would have been as good, then it would have made just as much money. But it made so much less money that it barely was enough to green light the third movie. And then the end credits scene didn't even pay off at the end.
Oh my god! I wish I have okay. We'll leave it there, but I have yeah. Sylvia, you don't have to tell us who won. I'll re-listen and I'll know who won.
We'll know who won in our hearts.
Just point the fingers on who won there.
No, that was good, Raul. You did good on that one. I really don't know, Sylvia, where you were heading as far as.
I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to add a comment on the video, and then that's where you guys will learn who won. Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you Stardusky69? Is that you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No idea who that is. All right, I do have a game for you guys.
Yes.
I'm going to give you 10 plots of movies.
10 plots?
Like short little sentences.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're misleading.
Okay.
Ah.
And
The Little Mermaid.
I am going to keep score of who gets the most amount of these movies, okay?
Finding Nemo.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah. How do we like, do we raise our hand? Do we just like shout it?
Raise your hand. Yep, raise your hand. Okay. Yes.
Oh no, I was just practicing.
Okay. So the first one is a man with a hammer needs to team up with 5 other people to help him beat up his little brother. Raul.
Is it the Avengers?
Yeah.
1 or 2?
Yes.
1.
Avengers?
Yep.
Damn, I'm in trouble.
Yep. Okay.
I'm in trouble. Okay. If you got that, and I wasn't even. How did you guess that? It's 5 people.
A man with a hammer, Thor. 5 other people, the Avengers, and then his brother is Loki.
I immediately went to Drive in my head.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
An intergalactic terrorist seeks revenge by hitchhiking a ride with a religious fanatic and a smuggler.
Oh my god.
Roll.
Is it Star Wars?
It is.
It's okay. So for that one, I had Star Wars in my head, but are you supposed to like name the specific movie or just
just the genre of it?
God damn it! Okay.
Or the franchise or whatever.
A boy whose only friend is an eccentric neighbor must shun his mother's affection, or he will cease to exist.
Back to the Future.
Gosh, Raul. Smoking.
I've seen a lot of movies and mostly remember the story more than the names.
I'm not able to put it together.
Okay. A student uses a powerful device to do her homework, save her friend's pet, and an escaped convict.
What? Say it one more time.
A student uses a powerful device to do her homework, save her friend's pet, and an escaped convict.
Oh, that was a hard one.
If I guess and it's wrong, what happens?
You can guess again. It's okay.
Harry Potter.
Yes.
Ah, thank God.
Yes.
Wait. Say the plot one more time.
A student uses a powerful device to do her homework, save her friend's pet, and an escaped convict. So this is what Carlos meant. It just has to be in the universe.
The Prisoner of Azkaban?
Yes.
Yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, I'm not a big Potterhead.
Okay. A father and son go looking for a religious dinnerware and run into Hitler along the way.
Hitler. Wow. Is it oh my God, the Taika Waititi movie that I haven't seen?
No, it sounds like it should be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Inglourious Bastards? No.
A father and son go looking for religious dinnerware and run into Hitler along the way. Not necessarily meaning that it is Hitler that they run into. It's someone like him, persona-wise.
This is a franchise.
Mm-hmm. There's multiple movies with this. My hint is everyone is extremely hot in this movie.
Twilight?
No.
Damn it.
Barbie?
No. Think older. Think The Rock was in this. Scorpion.
Oh, The Mummy?
Oh wait. No, I'm wrong.
Oh.
Kind of.
I know this. Hold on. Indiana Jones.
Yes, yeah. Sorry, I'm not going to count that point because I was incorrect. I'm sorry, Carlos. That was on me. So
Indiana Jones and the Holy Grail.
The Last Crusade.
Or The Last Crusade.
Indiana Jones,
Yep. Okay.
They did run into...
there was a Hitler in that one.
They did run into Hitler.
Yeah, I'm not going to count that one because I was wrong with my clue, so I apologize.
So it's 3-1, right? 3-1?
Yeah, 3-1.
Okay.
A ragtag team of misfits takes a very long walk to destroy a piece of jewelry.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Damn it.
It's the jewelry in the ring.
Yeah.
Okay. An orphan torn between his home and heritage realizes he must condemn an entire race.
Oh, that's so broad.
Condemn an entire race.
And or say it one more time.
An orphan torn between his home and heritage realizes he must condemn an entire race.
Is it Avatar?
No.
It's an X-Men?
I will say that the actor, like the lead actor, is Henry Cavill. Yeah.
Superman?
The movie was in 2013. Close.
Man of Steel?
Yes. Man of Steel.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Carlos, you gotta catch up.
Yeah, no, I'm not clicking though.
A rich kid opens a school for special needs where none of the staff...
Sorry. I wasn't listening in the beginning.
X-Men?
Yes, I'm going to give it to Carlos.
Okay.
Yeah, she gave me X.
All I heard was something school, and I was like, oh no, I missed the beginning.
A whip-wielding vigilante with a death wish confronts two feuding orphans, all wearing animal costumes.
A whip?
A whip-wielding vigilante with a death wish confronts two feuding orphans, all wearing animal costumes.
Indiana Jones again?
No.
They all have animal costumes on. That should be a big hint.
Walk the line? Animal costumes.
Spawn? I don't know. Batman?
Whip.
Batman, the second one? The Catwoman one?
I'm going to give it to you.
Returns?
It's Batman Returns.
It's Batman Returns.
Batman
Returns? Yeah, okay.
Oh, with that Anne Hathaway?
Not Anne Hathaway, with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, Batman Returns. Got it.
Batman Returns, yeah.
Michael Keaton.
That was all the movies. So we got 5-3.
Yeah.
Ro would have had it for sure.
Which, that being said, I'm gonna give you guys one
bonus.
Hold on, let me. One bonus round.
Winner takes it all.
Winner takes it all.
I'll do it.
This is double or nothing. I'm gonna have to share my screen for this.
Okay.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna zoom in a little bit,
which is gonna be awesome for the people that only listen and don't actually watch the video.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Hey, we're on YouTube.
It's kind of like the Love Is Blind game last week.
Oh yeah, no one knows what we were talking about. All right, guess the movie.
At least I know now.
It's The Mummy, right?
Do you think?
Yeah.
No, it's Godzilla vs. Kong. Oh,
that's
the
your
theater.
second hint. Yeah, so this is a hint and this is a hint.
Oh, nice.
With the theater, pyramids. Death of Denial?
That's weird that you would say that one. I do not think it's that.
I don't think it is.
So these are your 3 hints now.
Kind of looks like Oppenheimer, but it's not Oppenheimer.
It kind of reminds me of the first Kong movie with the one with Jack Black.
No,
maybe
it's not that. That's too modern.
So the Pyramids of Giza, a theater, and then outside of a theater, what happens in Egypt?
Is there another one? Or that's it?
We have to guess another movie.
You have 4 more guesses, and each guess gets you 1 more.
Oh, just say something, Rose, so that we can.
What's that one? I forgot it's a really old movie. No, this doesn't look that old though.
No.
Just say King Kong.
I would say Goodfellas, but it's like the pyramid thing.
I know.
Yeah,
the time period reminded me of Goodfellas, but.
My God.
It's I know the time period because she looks young.
Who is that?
But I don't know what movie she was in that would. What's that movie with not the Supremes?
It's my turn to guess. Just put the Joker.
It's not the Joker.
It's not the Joker, but.
What's that movie with the?
Would we get another guess? Is that we'll get another guess, right?
Oh,
we get one
Joker,
more after this.
On.
Oh my God! Well, let's just see.
Or is it just Joker or the Joker?
Joker, yeah, that's fine. It's not it, but Denzel Washington, right? That's who that is, and that's Daniel Glover. Danny Glover.
Fuck, I don't know. It's an older movie.
A prison movie.
I don't know. They
both are so young that I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I definitely wouldn't know. So I would say I don't even know what Denzel movie, like early Denzel movies, besides like Training Day and stuff like that.
Because that is Danny Glover, right? Like I don't know. I don't know.
It's a 20 day.
Huh?
20 day? What did you say?
I don't know what that is.
You said a
Training Day, but it's
It's
definitely not Training Day.
No,
because Ethan Hawke's in that.
Malcolm X. I said it first.
He did say it first.
It's Malcolm X, right?
Yeah.
Damn it, bro. Damn it.
Carlos, you got it at the end.
I feel like we need to do another. You need to do this game next week again so that we can really know who the winner is. Because
oh my God.
That shot right away gives it away, but yeah.
Well, but that's the only reason why.
Yeah. Damn, that was good. I enjoy that a lot. Like I am telling you right now, like I highly enjoyed that.
Good.
I enjoyed winning up until that.
Until the very end.
So next time we'll have each pie set up, and for whoever gets it wrong, they'll have to do a pie on their face to make it more entertaining.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Make it more entertaining.
Or we'll do shots, and then whoever loses takes a shot.
Yeah, and then not wake up tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no, man.
A whipped cream shot, actually. They have those now.
Yeah, a buttery nipple sounds good. Let's meet in the middle.
What?
With a buttery nipple, like that's kind of like whipped cream and alcohol. It's a real
Okay.
drink. You've had it. You've had it multiple times. Don't look at me.
I haven't.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
Dude, get
When did I have it?
all the
Without me?
time. Yeah, without you.
I don't think it's ever
Not
brought
anymore.
that up.
Well, Sylvia, tomorrow when you go drinking, go ask for a buttery nipple.
I'm going drinking tomorrow.
If you do,
Oh,
go see
in case you didn't know, you're going drinking tomorrow.
I thought you were going to see Smile and then hit up a local bar.
No, just what do you think I do? I go see a movie and then no, first you get drunk and then you see the movie.
All right.
Get with the program.
I'll send you some money for some buttery nipple action.
No, we gotta say
I'll be
happy
your
birthday
sponsor
to Raul.
in a different
happy
way.
birthday to Raul because he
yeah.
for the whipped cream.
Huh?
Wait, huh?
He said he'll be a sponsor in a different way.
Well, because like in AA, you have a sponsor, which is like the person
I got you.
that keeps you from
Well, happy
drinking.
birthday
But he'll
to
be the
Raul.
sponsor the other way.
And we hope you enjoyed this episode.
Woo, 45.
Yay.
Bro,
Bye.
45, bro.
Toodles.
Bye.